Okay, let's get right into it. DJI, one of the biggest names in the camera game, has just thrown its hat into the 360-degree ring with the new Osmo 360. We're going to break down what it is, what's in the box, and get to the bottom of the one big controversy everyone's been talking about.
So, the big question on everyone's mind is this. Does this new camera really have what it takes to challenge the current king of the hill? We're about to find out. First things first, let's meet this new contender and talk about why its arrival is actually a pretty huge deal. You see, for years now, the 360 action camera world has pretty much been dominated by one company, Insta360. But now, a giant like DJI is stepping into the ring. And that's not just another product launch, folks. That's a direct challenge that could honestly shake up the entire market. All right, so let's say you've decided to buy one. What do you actually get for your money? Let's pop open the standard package and see what's inside.
So in the standard box, you get the Osmo 360 camera, of course. You also get a protective lens hood, which is super useful, and a nice little zipped carrying pouch. Then you've got your battery, charge cable, and the DJI quick-release mount. But here's something really interesting. It comes with built-in internal memory. That's actually a first for a 360 action cam like this.
There is one small bummer, though. The standard package doesn't come with a finger mount, which you kind of need to attach it to a lot of common accessories. You'll have to buy that piece separately or, borrow one from another DJI camera if you happen to have one lying around.
Of course, if you've got a bit more to spend, there's the Adventure Bundle. And this is where things get pretty tempting. You go from just one battery to 3. You get a cool compact charger for all of them, and you get that special locking selfie stick that's been getting a lot of buzz. But hey, here's a little pro tip for you. That locking selfie stick is a brilliant idea, for sure. But you don't actually have to shell out for the expensive bundle just to get that kind of functionality. There's a really simple DIY workaround. And here's how you do it. Just grab any standard selfie stick, a super cheap adapter, it's called a finger mount to 1/4-inch thread adapter, and the quick release mount that already came in the box. Put those 3 pieces together, clip in your camera, and boom! You've got yourself a fully articulating mount that can get you pretty much any angle you can think of.
Now, what about size and weight? Well, the DJI Osmo 360 tips the scales at 184 grams. And to put that in perspective, it lands it right in the middle of its biggest rivals. It's a bit heavier than the GoPro Max, but it's also a good bit lighter than the Insta360 X5. Okay, let's get into the main event. We need to talk about the most debated, most confusing topic surrounding this camera, the sensor. There's been a lot of talk, and yeah, some marketing that's been a little clever. So you've probably seen DJI plastering the phrase 1-inch 360 imaging all over the place. But what does that actually mean? It's caused a ton of confusion, even for people who've been using these cameras for years. So let's clear it up once and for all. First, let's look at the competition. The box for the Insta360 X5 is super specific. Right there in black and white, it says dual 1.128-inch sensor. It's totally clear. You know exactly what hardware you're getting, 2 sensors, and you know their exact size.
Now compare that to the DJI box. It says 1-inch 360 imaging. See how that's different? It's clever phrasing, but it's also kind of vague. It never explicitly says it has 2 1-inch sensors. And that little bit of ambiguity is what's causing all the debate.
So, to get the real answer, you have to do a little digging on DJI's official website. And there it is. They clarify it, saying the innovative square sensor design enables dual 1-inch 360-degree image fields. The keywords there are image fields, not sensors. So here's the bottom line. The Osmo 360 does not have 2 1-inch sensors. That's the main thing to understand. Instead, what it has is a really unique square sensor that, through some very clever engineering, manages to produce an image quality that is equivalent to what you'd get from a dual 1-inch sensor setup. It's just a totally different way of getting to a similar result. So, now that we've decoded the hardware and figured out the marketing, let's get to the final section and answer the big question. What does this all mean for the battle between these two camera giants? Based on everything we've looked at, can the DJI Osmo 360 actually dethrone the current king of 360 cameras, the Insta360 X5? The quick answer from what we're seeing in early reviews is probably not. In a direct head-to-head, it likely won't beat the Insta360 X5 across the board when you look at the entire package, the features, the whole ecosystem. But, and this is a really important but, we have to remember this is DJI's very first swing at a dedicated 360 camera. And for a first attempt, it is a very good one. And that is exactly why Insta360 should be paying close attention. DJI learns fast. This camera brings new ideas to the table and puts some serious pressure on the competition. The real threat here might not be the Osmo 360 version 1, but what they do with version 2. Look, no matter what you think of this specific camera, you can't deny this is a pretty significant moment. Having a serious competitor like DJI finally jump into this space is going to push innovation, it's going to improve features, and ultimately, that benefits all of us. It's an awesome time for 360 video.
And that really just leaves us with one final, exciting thought to chew on. Now that we have a true heavyweight fight on our hands, what kind of amazing new things will this competition bring to the future of 360 cameras?